they can't finish the late game. Because if Dig doesn't get a lead early, we usually see them not winning the game at all. So that kind of works against them in every facet.
A lot of that has to do with Crumbzz in the jungle.
Yeah.
When Dignitas were doing very well, Crumbzz was able to invade the jungle, get a lot of vision for the team, and have a big early impact. But as we saw yesterday, Helios is adept at shutting down their opponent's junglers. And that Nunu is left up. However, you know, Lucian and Elise already still left up right now, so Crumbzz will probably be pretty happy with one of those two. He's not a guy who will pass up one of the top tier jungle picks.
Nope.
We saw it a couple times yesterday, but that's definitely out of the ordinary.
Tristana gets banned out. It's been creating a lot of opportunities for teams, even being banned out with the Yasuo now. We saw a lot of teams with Triss being banned out still go to Yasuo for the potential of control in the game.
Yeah, and it's no surprise here that Dignitas are really focusing on AD carry, as Altec has been a big part of Evil Geniuses in their wins, always with a strong scoreline when the team fights roll around. Taking out the two late game AD carries may look like Dignitas are going to play for that early game, and they don't want to let Evil Geniuses have one of those extremely strong late game scaling AD carries.
And if you're going to get pushed in, why not get the best that can stop that?
There you go. What's good against early pushes? Ziggs. Good early pick here from Evil Geniuses.
That works.
Definitely not surprising. One of the first picks, very popular all around the world right now.
So here Shiphtur decides to go. Great pickup there, as we were saying. The TF gets left open, and the Syndra is open as well, but we probably won't see a mid pick from Dignitas until the later portion of their selection. ZionSpartan is hovering the Blitzcrank as the team discusses what they decide to go in picks. Crumbzz rocking the Bugs Bunny today for his mouse cover. We did see Riven from Shook twice in a row over in Europe. I don't think so.
Yeah,
that's in Crumbz's bag.
Lucian and Elise are both up. Wow.
Whoa.
So they steal away
now.
the Nunu. Having watched yesterday, Helios will be happy to grab one of those, either Elise or Lucian. But yeah, stealing away that Nunu from Helios seems to be a good plan to stop the recent success that Evil Geniuses have been having. I mean, the duo of Helios and Pobelter, it shows how much time they've been putting into duo queuing just those two guys, because they really controlled a lot of the early game from that mid lane and jungle with the combination of a strong mid lane winning his lane plus the invading Nunu for jungle. And after Evil Geniuses already lock in one half of that combo, Dig want to break it up. Plus, you know, this just plays into Crumbz's playstyle. He loves being the early Sightstone utility jungler. And Nunu is definitely one that embodies that entire mentality.
Yep. I like the pickups from EG as well. We'll see how they play against Crumbz's first attempt at a North American Summer Split LCS. Nunu having that Elise and Morgana, easy ways to repel out and be safe for a few.
Yeah, the other thing about the Nunu now on the new patch with the new Spirit of the Ancient Golem is that the bonus 25% health that you get from the item applies to the passive that Nunu has, where he consumes a golem and he will get extra HP very early on. So he can take advantage of that Ancient Golem item much earlier than a lot of other junglers. And it just gives him such a strong base health very early on in the game, which allows him to roam around the map feeling fairly safe with all of his speed boosts and defensive stats.
Nidalee being locked in on the side of ZionSpartan. He went with that, a 1-1-1 play yesterday against Curse.
Yeah.
They were taken down.
It was actually fairly surprising how Zion was not really able to bully his lane with this Nidalee, who after the reworks is an extremely strong top laner for bullying in the lane phase and then transitioning into a split push. This time around, he's going up against InnoX, who is a Nidalee main, or was a Nidalee main, and knows the champion inside and out. InnoX actually going to go for the kill pressure on that Nidalee too. So this is going to require a gank at least from Helios.
Yeah.
And if you can get that early pressure, Irelia is a champion that can snowball a lane pretty quickly.
Oh,
she gets jungle attention. So the Rain Dwarfs,
as Zyrene would say, they bring out the archers. We'll see how this plays out. InnoX bringing out Irelia. ZionSpartan has done that during the summer split, so he knows what he's facing in that top lane. But like we said, a little bit of rushdown coming from that. Where does Helios decide to go with his early game aggression? EG may play for the late game, but Helios likes to make moves as soon as possible. It's just they take a little time to use the advantage they have to close out the game. That's where Dignitas wants to take a hold. They've got quite a siege comp of their own there with Poke.
Yeah, Dignitas locking in that Xerath last pick. It's that arms race of the mid lane where you're looking for longer range and more wave clear. Ziggs versus Xerath is pretty much the two premier champions for that.
All right, so before the battle begins, let's see how the votes stand over on lolesports.com. Currently, Dignitas is leading 70% of the votes, quite a bit.
Yeah, and you can keep voting throughout the game. Either use the hashtag EGWin or DIGWin. Just tweet us at LOLesports, and we'll update that all game long.
Final sips of water and sustenance being taken, hands being warmed, and the focus begins.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny too, because Dignitas did get some of their really high priority picks, like Braum for KiWiKiD, which is one of his favorites. However, they already had the Morgana in mind. They had the Morgana in the pocket. Great counter to pretty much everything that Braum does bring to the table. So we'll see if EG can actually handle this, because they were expecting a lot of this from Dig, except maybe the Nunu steal.
Right. The Morgana pick I always like to focus on for Evil Geniuses. It's something they continuously go to. It's something that can keep Altec safe. You have, not a cleanse, but pretty much Black Shield level 1 can save the AD carry, which most teams like to focus in the bottom lane right quick. And then once he gets going, he's out of laning phase. He's probably going to get 3 or 4 kills in one fight, as always. Very consistent once EG gets to that fight phase. So maybe Dignitas won't be finding that advantage they want towards the middle part of the game. And we are going to be on to the riff for EG versus Dignitas, Week 9, Day 2. Let's get this game underway.
All right, so already we see InnoX expertise against Nidalee. He's decided to go with a sustained start for Irelia. Crystalline Flask starting it off, not going for Doran's shield start, so we'll see how this works out for him. It will probably be a very passive early game for InnoX then. Maybe have Helios once again concentrate his efforts with Pobelter in the mid lane. Because this mid lane, these two players are very, very different mid lane players. Shiphtur has been focusing a lot more on farming and waiting for team fights, rather than Pobelter, who just looks for aggression early on. He looks to make his own plays, and he's been creating a lot more pressure in his own lane.
And we can see that in Shiphtur's numbers usually. Down an average of 15 CS against most. And he just, when in playing Syndra as well, he'll have an average CS of the same that he's laning against, when you should figure that to be a bully.
Ooh.
That does go to show.
So
plays for that CS.
Blows being exchanged in the top here, but Krepo landed a binding down by the river. That's 5 gold for Krepo. He actually earned money for this early skirmish.
It's already getting crazy. Quite a bit of damage being traded in knowledge for the teams. Wards go out. Ooh, vote begins to change quite a bit. EG just swung that one.
Yeah, after that champion select, people feeling pretty confident with their Evil Geniuses. I do like to see Pobelter really sticking to this Flash Ghost mid-laner meta. Stacking up all the traps and cleared it out for Helios.
Oh, he took Volatile Spider. He is really lucky he's not going to be running through a cocoon right now.
Yeah, pretty much every single Elise for jungle Elise is going to start Volatile Spider for the sustain that you get when you switch into spider form. Skittering Frenzy is mandatory when going for the jungle. As you can see there, he's just healing back up off that blue. So Zion, not only is Zion facing InnoX, who's a Nidalee top lane main, but he's also coming to lane with half HP, and then Doran's Blade start means he only has 1 health potion to rely on.
And this is huge in the bottom lane. QTPie was forced to walk all the way around. He'll gain that 6 CS, but that's an early level 2 coming in for Altec and Krepo to keep fighting strong. Instantly, as Shiphtur gets hit,
there it is.
He throws down the damage.
Pobelter answers with a bouncing bomb of his own, and it looks like, both of them pretty strong in the trade so far, fairly even. The bottom lane for EG.
Oh, wow. How's that taste? Wow. Great play coming from EG, starting off very early.
That river action where EG were able to reroute Dignitas just paid off so big. as you said, not only were they able to get to the CS lead, but zoning them from the experience is huge. KiWiKiD has nothing to rely on now. He's got no health potion sticking around, and Krepo looks to zone him.
Altec in perfect positioning now. They're definitely taking care of the bull cut in the bottom lane early.
Also, there's no way for Dig to save their own bottom lane because they don't have sustain. Braum is so susceptible to being pushed in. There's no way that Dig can actually come back in this lane by themselves. They have to leave that lane, and EG can continue to shove this in. Once again, it looks like Altec will be a big part of this Evil Geniuses game.
And InnoX being able to stay alive, hopefully he can stay alive. Crumbzz is taking some turret shots. This is going to be very low. He's thrown out, and it's going to be safe for now. One last hit. He is going to go down. Unfortunately, InnoX tries to stay for the long haul. If he were to live, Altec and Krepo would be having a field day.
Well, second time around, Zion says he will hold no punches. And he takes advantage of InnoX. Getting the first blood there with Crumbzz. Calls them over. Crumbzz already had both of those passive buffs for Nunu too, so he can tank up a few shots. But really good job by Zion because he was heading to lane with half life. He had to really bully that lane hard. And since Helios spent his time on the bottom side of the map, Crumbzz was able to get away with a dangerous dive. Pretty much all that Helios got out of that too was a counter jungled wolf camp and a little bit of gold there from the white. So, starting it off, I definitely have to give advantage to Crumbzz.
Yeah.
Helping out his lane there.
It's always hard to watch your lane being lost, but if you make the right moves, you make up for all of that very quickly. So far, a kill in the favor of Dignitas. Doesn't really open up too much on the map, but it does start their momentum. Hopefully shutting InnoX down to start, because Krepo and Altec have been having quite a lane down here, still doubling the CS of KiWiKiD. And the first back for Altec was just a quick Doran's as well. They're not trying to do anything fancy or get a quick first item. They just know they want to continuously win the lane.
Yeah, he's got an extra Doran's up here on KiWiKiD. But they're actually using the lane control to try and bring the Dignitas bottom lane into a more dangerous position. You can see how passively KiWiKiD and KiWiKiD are going to have to play now, trying to get those CS with their abilities rather than walking too far up. Helios is looking to make a pay.
Dig very focused on the lane, have not thrown out a ward. Those are only coming right now from KiWiKiD, and his trinket is down.
So the ping there by EG, they think that Dignitas have a ward up in that bush, but they don't even have a ward. So that's actually bottom lane communicating something to Helios that's incorrect. They think that there's a ward in that river bush, but actually KiWiKiD and KiWiKiD were completely blind there, and Helios could have gotten in to burn some summoners.
So even, oh man, I was gonna say, this could be big for KiWiKiD and KiWiKiD if they can't turn it around. I mean, well, it should be big. EG dodges it out. Very nice, KiWiKiD able to make those moves.
Yeah, great dodge. He was on his last breath right there, so close. Second time has been forced to recall though. This lane still in Evil Genius's control. Top lane though, all of this attention down bottom.
Helios in the right spot this time though. Let's see what they can get on him. Looks like they're just focusing on the turret. They're definitely not.
And they're getting, look at that massive turret damage. They're taking this turret down very, very quickly. And Dignitas are not afraid to actually destroy the turret quickly because Nidalee is extremely strong in the split push. She's very safe and almost hitting level 6. Crumbzz though walks into a ward.
I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Shiphtur roaming. A nice little bit of damage. Helios knew there wasn't going to be too much of a chase there. But now with vision in the top lane, KiWiKiD you can see getting a bit more aggressive. That lane not turning in CS, but you can see without mana, Altec wants to be a little bit safer. They've pushed themselves to out of resources. Good time for Dig too.
Yep, ZionSpartan's able to walk his way all the way down. Nidalee extremely mobile. By shoving in that top lane, Crumbzz created the opportunity here for this dragon. So very well thought out jungle path for Crumbzz. The visit top just to shove in InnoX so that InnoX cannot join down at this dragon, having had to use his teleport for laning phase, whereas Zion was able to keep his. And Zion doesn't even teleport back to top lane either. So even after the dragon, they're still saving that teleport from InnoX, or from Zion, to be able to use down bottom. Any sort of ganks in the bottom lane or overextension, Evil Geniuses are gonna have to be careful.
So revisiting the pinged out ward in the bottom lane.
Oh man, he missed all 3.
Oh, of course. It's hard.
The pinged out ward?
The pinged out ward in the bottom lane. Even though Helios, he had a pretty good positioning, wouldn't you still go for that to attempt the gank, even if you're going back? You're kind of not losing anything by going for it.
Well, as we said, you know, Zion could teleport down there, so maybe they were worried about the teleport visitation, but yeah, it seemed like a missed opportunity just because they miscommunicated.
Live to fight another day, that's for sure. So we see Crumbzz clearing out his side of the jungle. Everybody's kind of gentleman's agreement to soak up the experience. And we're going to meet for some awesome level 6 action. Blue buffs to the mid lanes. We'll just see that 76 to 64 not really being in too much favor of either player. That 1,000 gold lead.
Yeah, it looks like Pobelter will get that sort of average 10 CS lead over Shiphtur.
He does.
Working on it. Doing a good job keeping up that pressure in the mid lane. With Ziggs.
It's always the kill pressure in the mid lane as well. You get these champions that can usually kill each other, and now we get Flash and Heal, or Flash and Ghost, and then you don't. No kills. They're always trying to save each other.
Well, both of those guys, too, are really long range, very safe mid laners. Down bottom, though, really the story here. Evil Geniuses. Altec is going for the Infinity Edge Rush on the Jinx.
Oh, yeah.
And he's so far ahead of KiWiKiD that even though KiWiKiD is going for Cutlass into Bork, the power of Altec with his Infinity Edge build is going to be greater. He just has such a huge lead in lane that if these dragon fights do break out, well, initiation from KiWiKiD.
I don't know if this is going to be big. That's exactly why they bring the Black Shield to lane.
Teleport
but the teleport is why they focused it. Altec's going deep. He went way too deep, and he put himself right in the fire. InnoX thinks he can come down and fight as well. What a late teleport here from InnoX. That's one shot coming in. Tries to hit it from the long range Shiphtur, and ZionSpartan's able to clean that one up for dinner. 4 kills now for Dignitas coming in.
Zion, the savior for bottom lane here. That's exactly why they were worried about the teleport down bottom.
Right.
Evil Genius is extremely confident in that bottom lane, and they didn't even get KiWiKiD with that snipe for Altec going for the... to at least try and salvage 1 kill out of it. But yeah, anytime you're against the Braum lane, it's so dangerous to go that far up because of the amount of CC. And Zion teleports perfectly into the back of the lane here, forcing EK to commit. After the snipe is missed, Altec does go down to the last shot from Shiphtur.
The ghost of Altec is InnoX.
And man, InnoX with the late teleport, not only does he not save their bottom lane to turn it around, but he also gives up every single summoner he has and his life.
Oh. So Dignitas finding the bit of ground that they usually do in a game where they'll take the victory. And they do have a gold lead that will give them that at 2,000. That's usually the average they can work with and keep the game in their favor. And Shiphtur's feeling pretty good now. He's got his Athene's finish, and he'll keep being able to pretty much pepper Pobelter with all those long-range spells. Altec still has a huge lead on this bottom lane, but mistakes like this could start to give it back to them. Trying to do a little bit too much without Krepo in the lane. They're going to be able to save the turret's last breath there.
So yeah, even though Altec has this big CS lead, he's saving for his BF sword, so even though he died and went back to base, he didn't purchase anything. So even though he has more money in his bank, he actually doesn't have a lead in the lane as far as fighting goes right now.
Right.
So as you can see there, he's going to have to run away anytime he does get caught out like that. He's almost got his BF sword saved up for right there.
I like this by Dignitas, keeping Crumbzz in the top lane. Now it's going to be the menace ZionSpartan that always has to be dealt with, split pushing the top lane.
Crumbzz has had just such a clear plan for this game.
Yeah.
And it's really been basically the whole reason why Dig are winning. He focused up top to get Zion ahead early, going for the dive. And then his little move to just pressure top and then walk down to Dragon with Zion was the thing that allowed Zion to have that teleport advantage and Ion to pull off the gank. So every little step that Crumbzz makes sort of cascades into a bigger advantage for Dignitas here. And Zion is doing a very, very good job of executing and using that advantage.
You're saying it was going to cascade. Now over into their buffs, Kobe. It's going to be tough for Pobelter to stop sieges when he's out of mana. Shiphtur and Crumbzz now going to be holding 2 blues on the map. Rocket! Oh, so close. No cigar. So ZionSpartan now being able to sustain and heal the team with Primal Surge. And you're going to have huge poke coming out of both him and Shiphtur. This is going to be a great composition. And they're in position for Dragon already.
Yeah, Zion showing what a strong top laner is supposed to do. When he gets that advantage, he gets global objectives for the team. 1 dragon, 1 turret. Now he's coming in for his 2nd dragon. They're already in position because they have the timer. And look at InnoX. He walked halfway down the map without doing much. Irelia is just not able to accomplish anything for the team right now. He's just kind of wandering around. Now he's looking to get a red buff steal in answer for this dragon, which is in itself still a huge win for Dig. And he doesn't even stick around for the red buff steal because Dignitas swing up to protect it.
Huzzah! Yeah.
See what KiWiKiD did there, though, is actually really smart. Zoned off Altec from the tower, so Altec didn't get the local go of that tower going down. So at least, even though the turret did go down, they denied some of the gold from it.
Definitely something that needs to be denied from EG. 161 to 120 in that mid lane, 122 to 88, but Dignitas is making it up with champion kills and a bit of map pressure right now. Little geniuses, if they can hold the laning phase a little longer and get some finalized items, this next fight might help, but ZionSpartan being so strong can pretty much heal through any damage the team's getting once they get together in that pile. We saw no contest coming from EG at that dragon just now. They know it's a little bit out of their hands.
Yeah, Crumbzz has done a good job because Evil Geniuses were winning most of their lanes for CS.
Yeah, oh no, by far.
Crumbzz pretty much created this advantage for the team, allowing Zion to really shine on that Nidalee. Zion had a little bit of a disappointing game on Nidalee last time, but man, has he made up for it this game. It is everywhere. Now that he has Trinity Force, we will get to see the split-pushing Nidalee in action. All he's got to do is shore up that blue side with wards.
Yeah.
And it's already become hard for InnoX to deal with him in the split push.
It's definitely something that needs to be considered very early. It only took Balls the first 1v1 kill he got in his lane with Nidalee to keep going and just run rampant that game. This time ZionSpartan already just under 15 minutes did he get that Triforce, so he's going to be making a huge impact and really has a way better time taking down turrets.
Right, he's just saying, Zion, keep on split pushing.
Yeah.
Crumbzz comes over, says, I'll take care of the wards. You don't worry about anything, buddy. I'll take care of all the vision. He puts the pink ward down, and they've secured this top side so easily.
Being able to control one side of the map so well that it just bleeds into everything else right now at Dignitas' objective. And now they can kind of rotate towards mid. Once this mid first turret goes down, be a very dangerous position to hold.
Yeah, if you allow Dignitas to play the game that they planned out, then they've shown so many times that it will turn out well for them. They get this lead and they don't let the leads go. Whoa, Zion gets hit with a binding.
Very nice minion play there, good strategy. Trying to get an upper hand on this split push team, but here it comes again. They're just gonna heal each other back up. Crumbzz can eat and Primal Surge from ZionSpartan. You cannot get rid of the split push team.
Meanwhile, split push drawing a lot of attention top.
Yeah.
3-man rotation up to mid lane since the bottom turret's already gone. KiWiKiD and KiWiKiD heading up mid to try and make something happen. Altec, though, freezing this whole time. So if Evil Geniuses have something to bank on in the late game, it is a 2-item Jinx. After Infinity Edge plus something like a Phantom Dancer or Static Shiv, Altec will have a huge impact on the team fights. And even though there's this gold lead and this map control for Dignitas, they can still, Evil Geniuses can still come back with a well-placed team fight.
Let's see what we're looking at. EG's trying to repair the jungle right now. Get a little bit cleaned up. They do find one, but little do they know.
Look at Crumbzz, already looking to
vision.
replace wards.
Yep. He's like, oh, one of my security cameras went out.
Ooh, he
go
dodged that one a
repair
little bit.
this.
He's playing the spy game here, trying to hide in the shadows. Gets the replacement ward down. But
Oh,
Krepo's
no, you
on
don't.
top of it. Ah, number 2.
Get it! Oh, one more! Haha! Victory.
Blue buff is up. Let's see if they go for it here.
Oh,
Having
man.
the AD carries isolated is actually good for Dignitas in the 4-man squad because Altec is so much richer.
Fighting in the jungle would be not good for EG. Shiphtur has all this long-range attack. Very...
Also, Nunu just so easy
Yeah.
to steal away buffs because he can combo with Consume. Elise is no slouch herself, though. Especially building the Spectral Wraith. Has good execute damage, and Helios looks like he wants to go for this. It will be a Smite War, where both of them have high damaging abilities to combo with it as well. You can only soft leash this Golem 10 times before he hard leashes back to the spawn. And there he goes.
0 Fs.
All right, round 2.
Let's go!
Golem says, bring it on!
Oh, he threw a snowball at me. I'm going to go after the spider. Oh, man. And see, this is when you're just like, why? Right? Dig's not getting anything out of this. Nobody's gaining anything. Wait a minute. They're gaining. They're gaining. Oh, he got away.
They gained something, Riv. They got the flank onto Pobelter. And that battle is all about mid laners, too, because if you deny the blue buff from either of these mid laners,
All right, he got it.
When there's so much wave clear concentrated in mid lane champion picks right now, blue buff denial is all about the door to opening up a push. Whichever team controls the blue buff controls the minion waves and is able to get the push down for the mid turrets. Ooh,
all right.
You're missing.
Whoa, 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 Spartan. ZionSpartan, he's going hard on this one. He's going to be the one-man army there. InnoX, yes, beautifully getting the teleport out. Just a quick look of pressure, and EG bites on that one. Everybody's mid now. They do have the chance to go for Dragon, so it sets them in place for that. But they lose their pressure in the top lane. InnoX would be freely going for that top turret right now, so EG needs to get something out of this.
Now, blue buff control for Dragon is going to be pretty big for Dignitas here because Shiphtur can spam his poke out constantly. And if Evil Geniuses just take a couple too many cues from Shiphtur, then they'll have to back off because they don't have a strong tank right now. InnoX is building very aggressively, assassin-like as Irelia should with an early Trinity Force, and Helios has gone with the popular Spectral Wraith build here for Elise. So they really don't have anyone who can soak damage, and it's just way too much.
All right, so after our blue foray, we go to Dragon. Dignitas grabs the third one. Krepo just kind of hook shot that one over his shoulder. What?
Oh!
What? So close. No cigar. Didn't get him out. He does have the 11, so... Oh, the rocket! Oh, well. There'll be more. There'll be more.
No reaction from Crumbzz.
I like it. The team put together by EG to stay far away and end it by poke if they need to against this Dignitas team. Rockets and Inferno bombs. Almost working. Almost working. So
I mean, I really do like the Nunu steal away here from Dig in this battle where they're pretty sure that it is going to come down to both mid laners being these long-range wave clears, because the advantage in the blue buff battles really means a lot for this mid game.
That's true.
And Dig have been able to control not only the blue buffs, but also the dragon spawns for the entire game so far.
Oh, KiWiKiD in the right spot at the right time. Can Shiphtur get out of this? He has flash. He puts himself in the right spot to create the most distance after that. Now giving Dig time to recuperate and assess the fight. ZionSpartan, he makes the leap and he makes the strike. Gets that kill for himself. Helios now going to be in a real bad spot. Concussive blows, just goes off if he goes into repel. Very nice Winter's Bite from KiWiKiD to keep the fight going on another member of EG, and they only have Pobelter and Altec left. The ults that could stop Baron, but let's take another look at this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they still have the Inferno Bomb here.
Right.
Pretty early in the game to go for that Baron, but Shiphtur able to use his heal and his flash to escape the gank, and they completely turn it around. PewDiePie's gone with the early power spike build, Blade of the Ruined King into Ghostblade here. Zion making use of Nidalee's rework. Very easy for Nidalee now to chase down targets.
Yeah, that was a huge leap.
And it looks like they got Baron very easily, too, during that replay. Pobelter's ultimate was used as well, but no steal for him.
Nope.
Crumbzz making use of Nunu.
So we see priority over the distortion boots for Pobelter, trying to stay safe from this long range. And Rabadon's quickly finished up as Dig knows they're ahead. They can continue to rush that damage, and they continue to pressure down and stranglehold. A 7-0 right now, 8,000 gold lead. Pretty much is what it looks like coming.
Yeah, and they haven't just controlled all the kills either. They've controlled pretty much everything on the map.
Yeah.
Very well orchestrated game from Dignitas so far.
That's one thing that interested me about Crumbzz when he was playing Nunu in the beginning of this one is why wasn't he invading more? Because that's what a Nunu does. You try to harass. He was just waiting to get Zion big, and then you saw the blue invades over and over.
Yeah, there are multiple ways to create pressure on the map, and pressure is just threat of taking objectives off your other team. So them threatening to take that top turret, and Crumbzz constantly going up to top and taking that away from EG, opened up the bottom side of the map because Zion could join with the rest of the team. And it was a very smart move by Crumbzz to just ignore the bottom lane. I mean, people say it a lot in solo queue, just to ignore losing lanes because it's so hard to gank them. Yeah. But especially if you're Nunu, you cannot turn around losing lanes by going to gank them. And he would have just been wasting a lot of time down there. So he opts to go for the strengths of the Dignitas team. And by buffing up Zion and playing to that strength, they were able to get the global objectives to get their bottom lane back into the game. And now KiWiKiD is sitting on a blade build, and he's feeling just fine.
Yeah. He loves it. He's now in heaven that he can build that. He used to bring it out.
Zion, by the way, is taking a turret right now versus 2 people by himself.
Not much you can do. He's already got a Giant's Belt for himself on top of Merc Treads and the Cowl, so his magic resistance is already there, and you cannot lock him down for long enough to keep it for a kill. 4-0-1, he's creating enough pressure for Dignitas now to not have to run the usual 1-3-1. They're going to go ahead and try to do a 4-man top. Baron is theirs.
Not only is he just taking these turrets against 2 people, he's also tanking them most of the time.
He's got to feel like he's back in homeland as well.
Yeah, I mean, Zion...
That's where he loves to be.
This is his playstyle. He loves the split push, so the rework for Nidalee was great for him.
That jungle fight. This is where EG can get the AoE lockdown, but it doesn't look like they were even in position to start it. The health bars are just being consumed by Dignitas, and they walked through that one. EG was standing on the tracks.
Yeah, that looks to be mid inhibitor too. Dignitas not wasting any time this game. They are just demolishing the base right now.
What fantastic play so far. They get a little bit of a lead, and they absolutely run with it this game. Dignitas playing consistent when they always have a lead. Showing why they were at the top tier of the list. Can they climb it, though, towards the end of the season now with wins like this?
Yeah, kind of the reason I was looking for a surprise from EG. A lot of the teams with success against Dig have had those surprises to catch them off guard, but Dig with the plan this time around, and they stuck to the plan. Turned out very well for them.
Very reminiscent of the second time these teams played. We'll see this one more time. It looks
good. That's why
good.
KiWiKiD loves Braum. This amount of crowd control that he brings. Locking up Altec for Shiphtur to just blow him up from the back lines. And as I said, nobody on EG has any defensive stats, so once they start falling over, they just keep falling down.
The second time these teams played, inhibitors were taken about 27 minutes by Dignitas. When that happened, the game ended 2 minutes later, so you should expect Dig to be right back on the front steps of EG quite soon if they finish the game accordingly. 51,000 to 37,000, Kobe.
Yeah, this game is all but over right now, and EG need to actually use this time to sort of regroup. They had a really big win yesterday, but they still have so much work to do. Yeah. Because they're still on the bottom of the standings, and they're fighting to get out of relegation. So they can't just sit on a single win. They've got so much work ahead of them.
It's going to be tough. Tough changes throughout the year. Now those changes have pretty much kind of ironed out. We saw some good play coming out yesterday in their win over CLG. But can they keep doing it consistently against the top teams? Now would have been the chance to beat Dignitas on their 5-game slide. Catch them while they're down. Dignitas, though, wanted to come out of this and stop the bleeding as soon as possible. EG kind of falling into, I think what curse, we say what happens to curse kind of is that one person will show up one day and then another person will show up the other day, but not everybody at the same time so it can come together for the win. You always have those all-star plays and playmakers. It just needs to happen at the right time. Dignitas now getting a few of those plays in their favor throughout the game. A minute left on Baron, which they've already taken once in this one. 11-0. You can see the fear that EG's playing with here. They don't want to be engaged on first. And they're going to have to get it from under.
EG are really just hoping that there's some giant mistake from Dig. But right now, doesn't look like Dig will be making that. I'm actually happy that Dig is not really waiting for Baron to come back up either. They're looking to continue this push while they have 2 inhibitors down and just finish the game off without another one.
KiWiKiD acting like a big Braum, just walking right through the minefield. Looks like Dignitas is looking to put the nail in the coffin on this one. Oh, forced to flash. Very close, and that is really hard to hit all 3 shots of the ultimate. Kudos to Shiphtur on that one. Krepo gonna get shot up. The concussive blows from Winter's Bite gets locked down. And it looks like they're gonna start having fun with the Nexus turrets as well. InnoX able to push off ZionSpartan. Kobe looking grim right now as we approach 30 minutes in the game. Dignitas is going to take another win over Evil Geniuses on the split. That's 4-0.
Pretty clean game there from Dig. And now we've seen a couple of people use the new Nidalee extremely effectively. Yesterday Balls and today Zion on his 2nd try, much better this time around. Crumbzz also adapting and using the Nunu against Helios, who really brought it over with him. Very good combination.
Look at that, Zion's even split pushing the handshake. He's the first one out there. Good Lord, this guy just continues to keep going. The rest of the team finally able to catch up. Good thing he didn't get initiated on. EG's a nice team. Hugs all around. The top laners, a little extra chat to each other, obviously. And really great game. They tried, as they might, to shut down the bull cut in the bottom lane, but they couldn't do it. There was just too much pressure that happened on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, it goes all the way back to even before Season 1, when we had a lot of Korean players playing on the North American servers. Makuza was a guy who was very popular, and he had these rules. He had these rules for solo queue. And #1 on the rule for jungling for solo queue was don't gank a losing lane, because you're gonna waste your time. So even though the bottom lane was losing, Crumbzz didn't go down there. He got Zion fed, and he said, Zion, you go you go sort that stuff out down bottom.
You have the power.
Zion was able to pull through. That Nidalee up top, controlling the entire game.
So a 5-game losing streak snapped by Dignitas now. That losing streak was to 3 of the top teams and 2 of the bottom teams. So this would have made it 3-3 that they were losing again. So that almost just shows that they really need to buckle down and figure out where those losses were coming from. This, very